Evening, everybody. Hey, I just wanted to do a quick update of the plans for the car and then go over the time slips from last Saturday. You see, we did make it out to the track. So the test was from December, our 11:55 pass. We did switch over to the Pro Max heads here. But what I failed to mention in the video was this was our first time out with the 3-inch tailpipes as well. So I don't know if that hurt performance a little bit, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tailpipes off. We just bolted them in. We haven't welded anything in yet. But I wanted a little tamer street sound because this car still does have tags on it. But nonetheless, I'm going to unbolt the tailpipes. We'll try that one more time. But I was also thinking, since these heads are a different design, these are just the inline valves versus the twisted wedge, that maybe they can take a little bit more timing. So maybe I'll try taking the tailpipes off and then maybe adding 2 more degrees to the timing and see what that does. And then after that, the plans again are this engine will be coming out to go to a stroker combination, which I'm still trying to piece together because obviously with COVID, everybody's out of everything. So it's even kind of hard to get a stroker kit. And then we'll put the old original 86 back in, which we've got all mostly back together, and that will have the trick flow heads with the 86 block. A little bit smaller cam, but what I'm debating is when we put this back in, while we have this apart and disassembling and maybe sending it off to the machine shop to get cleaned up real quick and honed out for a new set of pistons, thinking we can throw this in and let's go ahead and maybe hit it with some nitrous. So I'm thinking of ordering a nitrous kit, putting the 86 in with the nitrous kit while we rebuild this blueprint into a stroker. I did order my 6-point cage. I went ahead and got the Maximum Motorsports just because that's going to be the easiest for me to do by myself here in the garage. I do have a welder. I'm not great at it, but I think I can weld it enough. And I also have some friends that I could possibly have come help me with a couple of welds. But nonetheless, so I wanted to see, I'll probably go ahead and order the nitrous kit. And again, nothing crazy, maybe like a 125, 150 shot with this. See what we can do with that. And then we'll take this out and start breaking it down and get this ready for a stroker, which will come, maybe in a month or so. But anyway, why I hadn't really posted anything since really the last track video, or actually installing the tailpipes, was, for one, we've had a lot of rain here in California, so there wasn't any racing to do. When it was, they have been doing test and tuned on Saturdays and then bracket racing on Sundays, and they want you to pay for both days. And I'm nowhere near, consistent enough to bracket race this thing at the moment. Although, these time slips, it looks 1180s, 1190s from our last visit. But with the trick flow heads, we were at 1155. So the only thing we changed was that clutch adjustment. We did change the heads, and again, the one thing I forgot to mention in my previous video was the 1155 was without the tailpipes. So obviously I posted up a video of just one of the runs because my son bought me a GoPro for Christmas. And you see, I tried the little mount right there for the GoPro. Actually got me a GoPro Hero 7, which is way nicer than recording with these phones. And basically, I had to work on a couple of our regular cars. My F-150 had needed some work, which we just got that a year ago just to tow our boat. But we took it over to the coast, and it needed, on the way back, it was downshifting, and the transmission was whining. And then also, it's got the 5.4 Triton, so it had the engine, it had the tick on the driver's side bank. But I replaced the VCT on that side, and the tick went away. So I got that's all been averted as far as a big timing change on that vehicle. but also my daily driver for work, my Ford Fusion, needed the front wheel bearing. The front wheel bearing was going out, so I had to do some work on that. But nonetheless, we got back from the trip, and I had to drop the transmission pan on the truck. I did a fluid, swap in the pan. Put 5 quarts of fresh in there and a fresh transmission filter, and it drives great. And then I put the VCT in there, and then the ticking went away. So that thing's running pretty darn good for the high mileage. But nonetheless, I just was going to go over these time slips real quick. So this is our best from December, 1155 at 117.8. And again, that was this engine with the trick flow heads. So we switched over to the Pro Max with the tailpipes, which I failed to mention, and we made an adjustment on the clutch tamer. And off the trailer, well, actually I drove the car to the track, but right after tech inspection I pulled in, and first pass 1180 at 115 with a 160 foot and a 743 in the eighth, and then it just seemed to get slower each time. I think this was 209 1192, and then 230 a double back 1190. So it just wasn't getting a lot faster. I was there by myself trying to do my laptop, mess with this first time out with this GoPro camera, and I had this thing recording on this and trying to run a data log. So it was just a little frustrating to be there by yourself and driving the car there, worrying about breaking down and trying to run all that equipment. So after 3 passes and it wasn't really getting any faster, I just decided to call it a day, and that was the end of the test for that day. But nonetheless, still don't think it's bad. And somebody raised a point, that maybe the tailpipes hurt it. So I do have to do my due diligence, and I'm going to take the tailpipes off. We'll go try it again and see what happens. But then after that, I'm pretty sure this is going to come out, and we will start on the stroker combination. All right, everybody. Thanks for checking out my videos. Again, it's just a little update on my 86 Fox body. Just my little garage project. Have fun, drive it out to the racetrack on the weekends and make some hits. But I'm really looking forward to seeing if we can get this thing in the 10s. With well, I'm curious to see what this little 86 will do, refreshed, and then we'll put a little spray on that. And then obviously, ultimately, we'll have this as a stroker engine with the spray. So that should get us down the track pretty good. With, hopefully we can knock some off of that 1155 and get this roll cage in here and get this Kirky seat properly mounted and everything safety-wise. And we'll go from there. All right, everybody. Thanks. Have a good night.